Hi guys, for today's makeup look, I have this purple makeup look. I wanted to use my peanut butter and jelly palette because my friend inspired me to play around with some purples because that's something I haven't really done on my channel, so I thought it would be different. So, of course, I'm starting off with priming my face and my eyes. I'm going in with my Smashbox primer water for my face, and then for my eyes, my favorite eye primer combo ever, the Too Faced Shadow Insurance and my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. I'm also going to be running some of that Too Faced Shadow Insurance underneath my eyes because I know I'm going to be putting some shadows there later and I want those to last as well. And like I said, just going over that with my Pro Longwear Paint Pot to really keep my oils under control and to kind of color correct my eyelids and make them nice and smooth and to cover my veins. To set all of that, I'm going in with my Tarteist contour palette and the two light highlight shades mixed together, just packed on my eyelids to make sure that my eyeshadows blend nicely. For eyeshadows today, I'm using the Modern Renaissance palette just for one shade, as well as my Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette, like I said. I'm going in with Buon Fresco, a really pretty light dusty mauve from the Modern Renaissance palette, and just running this through my crease as my transition shade. This is such a beautiful shade when working with purples because it has a super strong purple lilac-y undertone, and I think it just complements this look beautifully. So I'm just building that up pretty intensely in my crease so the color really shows and stands out. Of course, I'm going in and blending all of this out. I'm taking my big fluffy brush and really focusing on this blending. I did a lot of blending for this look. I really wanted to have that hazy, really blown out vibe. So I took a lot of time at blending. Of course, I sped it up for you guys. But one of the things I like to do is to tilt my head back and go in windshield wiper and mini circular motions. This really just helps me blend and to make sure everything's even and it's not skipping or patchy. Now I'm taking my NYX Jumbo Eyeshadow Pencil and Milk. Since we are working with color, a white base just always makes everything a little more smooth, even, and make it pop a little more. So I'm just going in and blending that with my finger and also with my brush when it gets a little closer to my crease, just to be a little more precise. I didn't want to get any of this into my crease. And then of course doing the same thing on the other eye. I'm going back in with that Buon Fresco shade, just running it through my crease just to make sure everything is nice and blended and to make sure none of that white got up into my crease. And again, going in and blending with my big Sigma E40. Moving on to the fun part, I'm taking Jelly, this beautiful, bright, vibrant purple from the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette, and just packing this all over my eyelid with a flat Sigma brush. I believe this is the E55. I'm going to be repeating that same exact step, except now I'm wetting my brush with some primer water. You could use regular water in a spray bottle. You can use setting spray. It doesn't matter. Just dampen your brush a little bit and it makes the biggest difference with metallic, colorful eyeshadows. It made the purple so much more vibrant and beautiful. Now I'm going in a little pencil brush and taking the dark purple shade in the palette called Jammin and kind of placing this in my crease with the pencil brush, and then I'm going in and grabbing my 217 and blending that out. I wanted to be very precise with the placement, so that's why I used a smaller brush and then went in with a bigger brush to blend it out. There's lots of blending going on with this look because, again, like I said, I want that super blown out hazy effect. So I'm going in and blending all the edges of that dark purple with my big fluffy brush. This just helps so much, you guys. Blending is key. If a look doesn't look that good, just keep blending and it'll all come together in the end. And of course, I'm repeating those same steps on my other eye. I did go ahead and clean up the edges of the eye look and apply some winged eyeliner off camera. As you can see, I did some pretty dramatic wings, but I only took them halfway to my eye because I didn't want the black all the way in my eye. I still wanted my eyes to look kind of wide and awake, and here I'm just cleaning up some fallout for a flawless base. I'm going in with the Too Faced Hangover Rx Primer. This was the first time I tried it out. I don't know how I feel about it. It feels really good and my makeup looks nice at first. I just like a really matte look, and this does not provide that for me. I got kind of shiny fast, but I am mixing in some baby skin pore eraser just to fill in the pores on the center of my face, which are larger. I did do some concealer and foundation off camera. These are the ones I use. I'll have it all linked down below. But then I added some Better Skin just for some brightness under my eyes. In this video, I did test out the Morphe Flawless Beauty Sponge, and I'm just going in and blending out my concealer. I don't know how I feel about this, you guys. I don't like sponges in general, so I'm not sure if it's this sponge that I don't like or if it's just because I'm not a sponge person, but I felt like it was sucking up a lot of my foundation, or not sucking it up, kind of just shearing it out too much. I don't know if my sponge was too wet, but I feel like I wasn't having the greatest concealer day anyway, because even when I went over it with my brush and did the other side with my brush, it didn't look that great. So I don't know if it was just the combination of the concealers or what. I just wasn't really feeling it that day. But I mean, the sponge is it's really soft, it's really bouncy, and I really like the way it feels. I think I just have to play around with it a little more, so I did just go ahead and put some of my favorite concealer over top with the sponge, and it looked okay, but I'm still kind of unsure about how I feel about it. Like I said, I'm definitely going to have to play around with the sponge a little more, so then I could tell you guys how I feel about it. To lock in all of my concealer and foundation, I'm setting my under eyes and my whole face with the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. You guys know, my favorite powder ever. I applied my mascara off camera. I used my Covergirl Clump Crusher, and then I'm applying my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer to add some warmth and to bronze up my face. Going in with blush, I'm using Dallas by Benefit, one of my favorite blushes. It's super natural and it's kind of like one of those no blush blushes, if that makes any sense. And now I'm just contouring using my little Wet n Wild brush and the lighter shade in my Tarteist contour palette. I absolutely love this Tarteist palette. Not only is it beautiful on the outside with the gold, but the powders in here are like a dream and they blend like a dream. And even the palette kind of has like a little cocoa chocolatey smell to it, which I always appreciate. And I really think that this palette is super underrated. So if you haven't checked out the Tarteist contour palette, definitely check that out. And then I'm dipping into the darker shade and just hitting the back ends of my contour. For my highlight today, I'm using Colourpop Hippo. It's just a really pretty icy purple color. It's not really intensely purple, but it has enough of that lilac undertone that it really plays well with the eyes and kind of ties the whole look together. You guys know I absolutely love Colourpop highlighters, and this one is no different. It's super intense without being sparkly. You know what I mean? So I love this one, and you see how intense that is? Like, oh my god. Yes, and I'm popping this on the inner corners of my eyes as well. I'm going in with the shade Jelly from that Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette, just smudged under my eyes to kind of balance everything out with the top and give more of a vibrant purple effect. And then I'm going in and blending that out with a little bit of Buon Fresco from the Modern Renaissance. I'm dipping into the shade Extra Creamy and highlighting my brow bone and also putting some on my inner corner to further brighten up that area. And that completes my eyes and my face. And now I'm moving on to lips. I actually had a little bit of trouble picking out a lip color for this eye look because it is so fun and intense. So the first one that I chose was Colourpop Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Mess Around. I really thought that this played nicely with the purple because it was that cool tone, like that muted gray brown. I just think that it looks super nice, but it wasn't like the vibe I was going for. It kind of gave the look more of like an overall kind of like grungy deep vibe, and that's cool. That's why I left it in, because I think it looked really nice. So if you want more of that grungy deep vibe with this makeup look, I highly recommend a lip color like this. But it wasn't exactly what I wanted. I wanted something a little more bright and fun, so I ended up going with the Colourpop Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Echo Park, and this peachy color just really played with the eyes nicely. I think it kept it light and fresh and fun. And that completes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Don't forget to check out my social medias. I will have them linked down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Ew, I don't like this song.